Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another first impressions video. This time is M. Night Shyamalan's most recent film, The Visit,
Ooh, The Visit
a found footage horror film.
by
Uh,
Shyamalan.
well, I'm gonna get into that later, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's start with. We're gonna start as we usually do with our thoughts on M. Night Shyamalan in general. We haven't seen his first two films, Praying with Anger and Wide Awake, and well. Okay, fine. Technically, I did see Wide Awake for a bit, but honestly, that's it's not Shyamalan at all. You can tell that was a movie he made for the sake of getting record
Honestly,
work.
honestly, honestly, I know I'm jumping the gun here, but neither did The Visit.
I'll get into that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from with that. Anyway, yeah, okay. Wide Awake. I haven't seen it in a long time. What I did see, it wasn't bad from what I remember. But okay, well, that's great.
yeah,
Let's just start with the Sixth Sense. That's where.
yeah. That's the one that's one I have watched.
Yeah, exactly. So the Sixth Sense. That's it's still to this day. If you ask me, his best film. It feels a lot like a Twilight Zone episode extended into feature length. It has a very awesome concept, a very well done plot twist. One of still to this day the best child acting performance I've ever seen.
From Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, Haley Joel Osment. Um, and Bruce Willis is also very good in it.
Yeah,
Um,
because up to that point, it's like every decade Bruce Willis tries to reinvent himself. In the 80s, he was mainly known as a comedy actor before he did Die Hard,
mhm,
and by 1999, he was mostly known for being an action star until he did The Sixth Sense.
indeed.
Um, I like Sixth Sense, but I don't know. I guess after all the hype, and I saw it. I think I saw it earlier this year, or maybe towards the end of the last. I'm not entirely sure. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's just I wasn't quite as enthusiastic about it as others seem to be.
Mm, sure.
I just put that down to it's been a while. Everyone talks about it, like it's Shyamalan's best work, which it is. But yeah, I mean, honestly, even then, honestly, I've noticed a couple of bad Shyamalan cliches in the
Yeah.
film times.
Oh yeah. No, like, even his good movies still have the trademark bad Shyamalan
The
traits.
the the long pause is Bruce Willis looks like he's about to. He looks like he's about to, I don't know, go into a wide awake coma at points.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with TJ when it comes to that. The fact that Shyamalan is a director who looks like he's so afraid of being melodramatic that he doesn't even allow himself to be dramatic. Even in the good movies, his characters are always cold, always very distant, and that's just. I mean, The Visit was the first movie, but to not have that. But we'll get to that anyway.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, Sixth Sense, we both like it.
Yeah, Unbreakable.
I haven't seen Unbreakable.
All right. Without spoiling things for Dwibs, basically, I find Unbreakable to be a really unique take on the superhero genre. Definitely, it's definitely the most unique superhero film I've ever seen. Um, and yeah, I don't find it to be quite as good as The Sixth Sense, but it's definitely a very good movie. I really like the story has a good amount of suspense and thrill to it. The acting by Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis is great, and it does a lot of awesome stuff. So it's a very good movie. I really enjoyed that one too.
Yesterday I saw Signs properly for the first time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the Signs is actually rather amazing. Like it manages to take Mel Gibson, one of the okay, we can talk about his off-camera stuff all we like, but he is a legitimately good actor.
Yep,
But to see him turned into a walking robot along with Joaquin Phoenix is it's actually kind of sad.
it is. He's been Shyamalanized, as the Walker would say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. He's and also, I mean, I've heard. I've heard Terry Jones. Sorry, Cherry Jones, the one who plays. You know, the one who played the police officer.
Yeah.
The one you. I've heard she's actually quite good in 24, but in Signs.
Well, that's just how it is. I mean, Shyamalan has this unique gift of draining people's acting
Yes.
talent.
Yes, it's like he keeps himself going throughout his movies by draining acting talent. That's his energy.
Probably.
Yeah, and the film itself, nothing happened for like the first 2/3 of the movie, and the final third is it's just some of the stupidest I've ever seen in a movie. It's just okay. Aliens who can't get through wood, who can travel through space, but they can't break through wood, and they somehow manage to survive on the Earth's atmosphere, even though they don't like water.
Water is like acid to them, like it kills them.
Yeah, but there's water in the air.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah,
let's not forget how. Let's not forget the big revelation at the end. If an alien comes, swing away.
yeah. That's so. I could just get a can of aftershave and knock the aliens with it,
Yep.
and it would still defeat them. Or even better, just run to your bathroom. Run your bath and then chuck water on them with your hands.
Exactly.
It's
My, my,
that easy to beat them.
my thoughts on science are pretty much the exact same as Dwibs, so let's move on. The Village. Oh boy. This is where Shyamalan really started. I mean, the Signs was his first bad movie, but at least Signs felt like it was something. Okay, maybe this is a misstep. Okay, maybe he got a little overconfident. Maybe the next
Yeah.
one will be better. But then The Village is where it really showed that he was a one trick, or in this case, a two-trick pony. Anyway,
Hey, he's one more trick than Neil Blomkamp.
true. All right. So yeah, The Village. The Village is one of the most mind-bogglingly terrible movies I've ever seen because it does, don't get me wrong, it does have good things in it. It has fantastic cinematography, as Chris Stockman loves to remind us.
Yeah,
Um,
to be fair, Roger Deakins is a great cinematographer.
oh yeah, totally. I'm not at all disagreeing with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
like I said like I thought in my mind, Chris, Ballistic had decent cinematography, and I consider that the worst film ever made.
That's not mentioned. This is not about Chris, so let's move on.
Yeah. Let's move on quick before we turn into it. And yeah, surprisingly, the best actor in the entire movie is William Hurt,
Of all people,
a guy who's never been known to be a good actor.
exactly.
Well,
It's
I've heard he's won an Oscar, but I haven't seen that movie, so yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah,
also the rest of the cast, Bryce Dallas Howard, Joaquin Phoenix, even Sigourney Weaver succumbed to his curse,
yep.
as you can say. And
Hi, the Shyamalan.
yes, I curse you. Give me your acting talent.
All right, so yeah, The Village. It starts out as a somewhat Amish plot with a love story at its core. It's fine, but then we learn about there's these monsters, so they're not allowed to leave the village because they'll be eaten or something. And we even see one of those monsters once they attack the village. But
Which
then
looks fake as shit.
but then there's one point where the main character has to leave the village to look for medicine for her lover and shit. And then we discovered a big plot twist that made everybody go fuck you at this film. The fact that it's not actually a village, but a conspiracy plot to secure people away from the civilization because civilization is evil.
Ooh, we're evil. And which was run. Okay, I don't think it was run by Shyamalan, but he was part of it.
Yeah, was part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
And also another that's the main plot twist, but the first one is the fact that they're not actually monsters, they're the old people dressed in costumes.
And they even managed to make Brandon Gleeson boring.
Yep.
You managed to make Mad Eye Moody boring. How
There's
do
no
you
one
do that?
there's no one that Shyamalan cannot make boring.
Oh, and also
Remember
Jesse Eisenberg was in the film.
He was just there. He just like in a very minor role. I didn't think did he even have any lines? I don't even remember.
I think he might have had like 6, maybe.
Anyway, yeah. No, remember, Dwibs, this is the guy who made Will Smith boring.
True.
Anyway, we'll get to After Earth. Okay, so The Village, Lady in the Water, which Dwibs still hasn't seen.
And from what I've heard, I have missed out in a way.
Oh, trust me, you would have a ball ranting at that movie because it has it has that one big thing. You specifically said, "Oh, I'm okay with a director being in a movie as long as he can act, and second, doesn't praise himself doesn't put himself in a role that praises him." Well, that's exactly what he does in that movie. So,
And Lady Water is interesting because it was his first film without Disney publishing it. This one was Warner Brothers, and it's also Shyamalan's only movie that I can, as of now, that has that was actually quite a massive box office bomb because we can say what because even the last Airbender and to a lesser extent After Earth made more money.
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, people must have thought to themselves, a film where the director praises himself as God? No, thank you.
Well, of course, no, it's not even just the fact that he praises himself. He even casts an actor as a critic who we're all supposed to hate because apparently critics are bastards who all they do is misunderstand things and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a movie that's literally insulting the audience. If you don't like my movies, you're an idiot.
Yeah. And how was Paul Giamatti in that film?
He was okay. He wasn't Shyamalan, but he's very, very over the top silly with the stutter. And, honestly, throughout most of the movie, he kind of sounds like he's incredibly embarrassed to even be in this movie.
Well, for what you've told me, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm in the movie where the director's praising himself. This is going to be awkward.
Yeah.
I'll just get on with it. I'll be in straight out of Compton in 11
Okay,
years.
for the sake of covering more about the
9,
movie,
sorry.
let's not talk about just the cast. Let's just talk about the actual film itself. The big problem with Lady in the Water for me is not only does the plot make no sense, it's the move. It's literally impossible to get immersed into this world because the characters are always reminding us that they're in a movie. Oh, this okay. So I guess I'm the guardian. So okay, let's see. Let's get to carry on with the story or something. I'm not even kidding. The main character is called Story, for God's sake. It's just
That's breaking the fourth wall, and then there's that.
the problem is that okay, Shyamalan this movie was to make a movie that's a deconstruction of storytelling itself. The problem is that he got overboard with it. He got overly confident about how clever the concept is because it's a very cool concept. He got so overconfident with how cool the concept was that he just went completely overboard and look how clever I am and shit.
Yeah, look, I got Bryce Dallas Howard again.
So yeah, the Lady in the Water, and then of course came my personal favorite M. Night Shyamalan film, The Happening.
Wait, was he seriously trying to portray The Happening as a horror movie?
A supernatural thriller, if you want to be technical, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's the kind of bad film I like. A film that doesn't know it's hilariously bad, but it is.
Oh yeah, totally.
I mean, because that's what I appreciate, especially when films that are actually trying to be so bad it's good come out, and I'm just like, ugh.
Well, it depends. Expendables 2 did it well, but
Yeah.
anyway.
So yeah, The Happening. The
ahead.
main villain is Mother Nature.
Yep.
I think. I don't know if it's
It's
Mother
plants. It's plants, Dwibs. It's
Oh
plants.
yeah, it's plants. Fucking plants, man. As
Fucking,
Mark Wahlberg so eloquently put it.
fucking trees, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of that, there was actually behind this. They'll be behind the scenes footage for the film. You know the bit where Mark Wahlberg and the rest are going into this house to try and take shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Wahlberg actually questioned
Yeah.
what Shyamalan's logic was. Why would there be food in the house if it's all boarded up and stuff? And then and Shyamalan literally said 2 words: canned goods. Yeah, I'm sure Mark Wahlberg was very convinced after that.
Yeah, that was probably the time where Mark Wahlberg officially, like, just because in that scene, you can tell he's like, yeah, I guess, like, you can tell he's so embarrassed to be in this movie. Like,
Wait, Shyamalan was also in The Happening?
yeah, he was Joey, aka that guy that Zoe Deschanel gets two calls from, because she had a coffee with him and shit. Remember?
Is Shyamalan's treating it as like a pairing fanfic, him ex Zooey Deschanel. But yeah,
The Happening is supposed to be a supernatural thriller, and yet it turns out to be one of the best comedies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like he embraced the R rating too much.
Basically, ladies and gentlemen, the Happening is about plants releasing toxins in the air that make us want to kill ourselves. Because, as the scientists in the movie say, our brains are equipped with self-preservation mechanisms that prevents us from killing ourselves. And this toxin is literally flipping off the switch because that's how brains work, right?
Yeah, that could happen. I mean, it's not like he could have just said, "Oh, the mist clouds our minds with such thoughts" or something. Nope, it's an off switch.
Oh yeah, totally. Not to mention, I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Mark Wahlberg's performance in The Happening is comedic genius. It's
What? No.
should be more interested in science, Jake. You know why? Because your face is perfect.
Just give me a second, okay? Why can anyone give me a goddamn second?
I was in the pharmacy a while ago. Like seriously, there's so many quotable lines by Wahlberg makes that movie. He really does. Oh
So,
man.
but hey, The Happening had some unique thing regarding a Shyamalan movie.
What?
There was no plot twist.
True. We were told pretty much right from the beginning that it's plants.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no plot twist. Yeah, at that point, Shyamalan was so infamous for his plot twist. He was like, "Okay, you know what? I'm not going to do him anymore." Which he kept, and he kept his promise
until
until the visit.
yep.
But again, we'll get to that when we get to that. And then
And then all hell
he
broke loose.
he made
Broke
his
loose.
absolute worst movie.
The Last Airbender, based on Avatar: The Last Airbender from Nickelodeon.
Okay, I just got a question to ask.
Go ahead.
What planet was Paramount on when what planet was Paramount on when they decided, you know what film we should get about, you know what guy we should get to make a movie based on an animated show that had a lot of cool characters, emotional scenes, and cool action? The guy who made The Happening.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because that makes sense, right?
Okay, well, the story turns out it's not so much that it was actually apparently Shyamalan who got the idea and pitched the film to Paramount, apparently.
Because his kids love the show.
Yeah, because her daughter loves the show.
Her daughter?
Yeah, so he specifically said her daughter, yeah, because her daughter loves to dress as Katara and shit. That poor girl, she probably must have picked on a lot at school, but
Yeah. Your father made a shitty movie.
lots of shitty movies, but that's
This is his worst.
oh yeah. This movie literal is like the pamphlet from SSMP said. It is a fundamental failure in filmmaking in literally every aspect. The cinematography and direction is terrible. The acting is some of the worst I've ever seen.
If it's not from Dev Patel.
Yeah, that Patel he did okay, but everybody else is crap.
Everyone else. Okay. To be fair, the only two actors who I felt
Oh yeah,
actually
and
managed to give a
Iroh.
somewhat good performance
Yeah.
was Dev Patel and Sean Taub.
Is that the guy who plays Uncle Iroh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean no? You mean Iro?
Oh, Hiro, yeah. And Asif Manvi was kind of unintentionally funny, if only because of his accent, but that's... anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So, ignoring the fact that Shyamalan got the races of the characters wrong, and ignoring the fact that he kept mispronouncing the characters' names, I have never heard of a movie that manages to suck out so much of the characters of a movie based on a property ever. Seriously, no other movie, even I, this movie has the worst characters in a movie that I've seen because there is nothing to them. They've been stripped down to
Yep.
like one trait. Aang is moody. Katara is concerned a lot.
But
Sokka is mopey.
I still think Dragon Ball Evolution was an overall worst film, but that's a different topic. Anyway, yeah, the big problem with Last Airbender for me, like even as a film, I mean, let's take away the fact, for example, let's just look at it as its own
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Even if it's its own movie, it's crap.
yeah, the big problem with the Last Airbender is that, as Dweb just said, we don't have characters. Well, okay, technically we have characters, but we don't know any of them because every single line of dialogue is exposition. We have to go here. We have to do this. We have to go there. The Fire Nation does this. The Fire Nation does that. So there's no moment where the characters actually talk to one another. You know?
Yeah, they just talk. Well, they do talk, but just Shyamalan Shyamalan forgot the show don't tell rule.
He's always been very bad at following that rule. Um,
This is his worst. This is the worst he's gotten with that.
oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, yeah, and for a film that costs $150 million to make,
Hmm.
did did it really look like a movie that cost that much?
No, but that's of course the fact that M. Night Shyamalan is just not cut out for the big blockbuster kind of movie. He's just not. He doesn't have the directing chops for that. That's not the kind of film he's good at. Uh, it was a very horrible mistake for him to pitch that to Paramount, and he apparently is trying to make the
Like,
second one. It's just why Shyamalan? Didn't you learn it the first time?
we're 5 years removed. The actors have grown out of that by now.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna make it all CG.
I don't know. Maybe.
So yeah. After Last Airbender, we all thought there was nowhere to go but up.
And there wasn't. There was. It's exactly
Well, slightly.
slightly because After Earth is not as bad as Last Airbender.
No, no. In fact, I don't even really consider it a Shyamalan movie. It was just Will Smith, trying to force his son Jaden onto us.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because he actually wrote Will actually wrote the story for that thing, and yeah, I know Shyamalan directed, and he and Gary co-wrote the screenplay. But yeah, I just see it as a Will Smith. I just see it as a Smith family vanity project more than anything else.
That's what it is.
And what's sad about After Earth? It was actually supposed, from what I've heard, it was actually meant to be a much more simpler movie. Like a father and son trying to bond with each other, so they go on a car ride through the desert, but the car breaks down or it crashes or something, and Will can't go anywhere, so it's up to Jaden to try and find help.
Yep.
Honestly, I would have rather have watched that movie than the one we got. I mean, I didn't see After Earth in the cinema. Well, I didn't see any Shyamalan film in the cinema till The Visit. But I mean, and I was actually slightly curious, but then I heard the negative reviews
Mhm.
and the bad word of mouth from audiences, and I was like, yeah, no.
The big okay, After Earth. Okay, direction wise, it's for the most part competent, I guess. And the big problem is, of course, that Shyamalan just does, of course, kept his main trait of sucking out the talent out of people, because Will Smith is so boring in this movie. Yes, he made Will Smith boring. I don't even know that was possible.
Yeah, seriously, throughout the entire movie, Will Smith is like, Katai, are you okay?
Even in even,
Answer
I
me.
mean, even in Bad Boys 2, he was at least there to be his old jolly fun self. But ugh,
Well done, Shyamalan. You've made a Will Smith movie worse than something Michael Bay made.
that's sad, really.
Yeah. When Michael Bay can look at himself in the mirror and be like, maybe I didn't make Will Smith's worst movie after all.
Yeah, basically, After Earth, the plot is incredibly standard. Jaden Smith is a horrible actor. Uh, he tries. By God, he tries, but he's just not good. Sorry.
I think honestly, I think it's too soon for him to be in a movie like this.
Hmm.
Maybe if he goes off and gets acting lessons, then maybe he could be all right. But for now, yeah. And uh, um, I don't know. Would you call it the worst film of 2013?
It's been a while. I don't know if I would call it the worst, but
Honestly,
it's definitely up there though.
honestly, well, but actually, I'm gonna say it's better than the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, yeah, I'll agree.
Because I mean, because yeah, After Earth, yes, it's bad, but it's only 100 minutes.
Oh yeah.
The Lone Ranger, on the other hand, goes on for nearly 3 hours.
Not to mention, there's quite some unintentionally funny scenes in After Earth.
Yeah,
So
my suit's turned black. I like it, but I think it's something bad.
I'm not even kidding. I saw it in the theater, and I was literally going, "Wait, what did he just say?"
I would, I would, I would have been surprised if you said, even the guy running the projector was shocked, so he rewound the film.
I swear to you, the first time I saw the movie, I literally felt, no, 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 I must have misunderstood. There's no way he actually said that.
But he did.
Anyway, yeah, After Earth, piece of shit, but better than Last Airbender at least.
Yeah, but that's not saying much. That's like saying eating sick is better than eating mud.
So today we saw his most recent film, The Visit.
Which isn't a big, massive summer blockbuster. Instead, it's a $5 million found footage movie.
Indeed. Okay, I'll start. I thought the movie was actually really good. I was surprised by
Shock!
yeah. Um, and I'm not into these kind of movies, so that also is kind of an extra layer to the surprise. Okay, I'll get this out of the way right now because I really want to put this out there right now. The best thing, the and quite possibly the element that really makes it all work is the acting. The actors in this movie are great. The
Wow,
kids
good
are
acting.
great.
Good acting in a Shyamalan film. Oh my god.
Okay, the kid, he's great. He's really charismatic, and the jokes involving his rap songs are really, and he's really good. I don't know if he made those up himself, maybe, but they're really good. The kid is very charismatic. The girl is also very nice, and they do a good job making us care about them. And that's essential in a movie like this. So great job. I mean, in fact, I'm going to go all conspiracy nut right now. There's no way he wrote the dialogue.
There's
No
no way.
way.
There's no. It's like I said on SSMB earlier. This is the least Shyamalan-like film I've ever seen. There was no long pauses. There was no bland looking into the camera shots. There was no wide-eyed stuff. I mean, well, there was some wide-eyed stuff, but there was some other emotion to go along with it.
Hmm.
What else? What else was there not in this movie from Shyamalan? Oh yeah, James Newton Howard's not here.
Yeah, well, I think there is a score, but it's minimal.
It's from. It says here music by Paul Cantelon.
Haven't heard of him.
But yeah, no James Newton Howard in a Shyamalan film. That hasn't been like that
Well,
since
well,
'99.
he wouldn't fit this movie, so it was a good decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kid is great. The grand
The grandparents were freaking scary.
yeah, like the actors involved playing the grandparents, they also do very well. Um, and another thing, one thing that I loved about the fact that I was afraid of the fact that this was a found footage film. But one great thing that Shyamalan did was that most of the time the camera is not actually on her hand. It's actually on the top of a table or on the ground. Like it's always still. So so unlike with the Blair Witch Project, sorry Blair Witch fans, I can actually see what the fuck is going on. I mean, yeah, there's moments where yes, there's shaky cam, but it's justified by the particular situation it happens. So
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Honestly, okay. Like you said, when I went into the movie, I was expecting everything to be, all bland and stuff. But honestly, no. I was actually kind of shocked. I was like, I was literally in the cinema. I was like, did Shyamalan actually make this movie? Hang on a sec.
So yeah, um, Shyamalan. So yeah, I'm still convinced that he wrote the story and he wrote the story and then he kind of, okay, this is what I want, this is what the scene's about, okay, try your best to somehow come up with some awesome way to say it, and that's probably how the dialogue went, because the dialogue sounds so natural that it's kind of hard for me to believe that this was written by him.
I mean, seriously, how did we go from I like it, but I think it's something bad to boy rapping?
Oh yeah, the raps were awesome. I loved that. Well, there was one moment that I didn't like, where when I was kind of scratching my head when they're in the train or
Hmm?
bus or whatever it was. I think it was the bus, wasn't it, or was it a train?
It was a train.
Or a train. And the train man is, uh, oh look, oh, I'm an actor, and then he's suddenly and then he's looking at the kid rapping. Dude, don't you have a job to do? I
Yeah, you got passengers to check.
Okay, but then it's only like in it for like 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah, uh, but yeah, like one another thing that I love is this is definitely director wise, yeah, writing wise, this is very unshyamalan like Dwibs said, but director wise, yes, I can totally see this as the same director who made The Sixth Sense, because he really creates a great sense of atmosphere and really and does it through the characters.
Yeah.
And it's very good. He does a great job. Make Even though it's a found footage film, you can still see his directing in it. So it's definitely a return to what he did best with Unbreakable and Sixth Sense in that regard. So it was really I was really surprised with that.
Oh, yeah, but if there is one Shyamalan thing that came back for this movie, the twist.
Oh yeah, but shocker, the twist is actually, at least in my opinion, well done. It I don't know about you, but to me, yeah, it made sense. But at the same time, they
Yeah.
did a really great. Shawn did they really really great job making us believe that these were the grandparents, despite their weirdness and shit. Oh yeah, sorry.
Shit, spoilers.
Don't worry, I'll insert something in the video
Just
saying
spoilers.
we're gonna go into spoilers, so don't watch the movie for yourself. You should watch the movie for yourself and then come back. Don't worry, we'll fix this in post production.
Oh,
Whatever.
wait.
But the point is, yeah, turns out the grandparents are not the real grandparents. They kill the grandparents because they're apparently in. No, the the old
The
lady is
grandparents.
insane, and she would have loved to have grandkids apparently, and her husband, apparently being just as nuts as she is, kills their grandparents because he kept listening to them about how awesome our grandkids are. That, oh, she just deserved to have at least 1 week of being a happy like it was. It was really disturbing and really worked well.
Yeah. What about the part where the insane guy literally shattered his nappies and put the
Uh,
shit all over the kid's
No,
face?
yeah, it was really. I was really on the edge of my seat at that time because, as we've learned earlier in the film, he's kind of a germaphobe. He doesn't like. There was that scene where he. Oh, I feel it. I mean, he's very paranoid in terms of germs, and trust me, I am familiar with people that are like that, and trust me, if you put that thing on one of those person's faces, like, trust me, that's like torture to them. Like, trust me, it's ugh.
Oh, not
So,
pleasant.
it was very effective in that scene. The grandpa, the guy in the movie went, "I've heard you're kind of a germaphobe, aren't you?" So it was literally, so it was really, and I also really love the scene, everything involving the girl killing the old lady was very well done. And the girl, this is a very hard scene to pull off, even for an adult actor. And this is, from what I can, I mean, I don't know if this girl has done anything before this, but she pulled it off well, very well. She was incredibly convincing in the more intense
Uh,
scenes.
keep talking for a bit. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, go ahead. So yeah, it was a really surprising movie. Definitely quite possibly will go down as the biggest surprise of the year. Um, and yes, of course, there's a twist, and the twist. And guess what? Unlike the most of his twists, this twist actually works, and in retrospect, yeah, it makes sense when you think about it. And yet, Shyamalan did a fantastic job of keeping things in a way that it's still it's still believable enough that these are their grandparents.
Yeah.
Despite the weirdness, especially because basically the story is that their mother hasn't seen her parents in like 15 years, I think it
And she
was.
and she thinks her parents still resent her.
Yeah, that's another thing that I also was surprised at. That this movie actually does have quite a bit of heart to it, especially at the end, because there's a subplot involving the girl, because the girl has a thing where she won't look herself in the mirror because basically she still resents her father abandoning her mother, and especially when they were very young. And so of course she holds a very high grudge to him, and she even says that I won't use his footage on the documentary because that might sound like I forgive him, which I don't and shit. But of course, but the thing is that but the mother's story involving the fact that she never really, she left her parents resenting them, and she never got able to actually ask for their forgiveness, which of course is very hard for her. And she's trying to help her daughter say, don't, don't let go of anger. Don't be like me. And it was a really good arc. And at the end, we even see her. Turns out she actually did include her dad's scenes in the documentary. So it was a really good, touching ending, at least for me. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know I've said this a lot, but yeah, this is the guy who made After Earth 2 years ago.
it is like I get. Okay, that was of course story. I mean, I'm still convinced the dialogue was probably ad libbed, but the ending was definitely written. And yeah, I guess Shyamalan. I guess this is what Shyamalan is best at: low budget, small scale films. And
Yeah,
to be, I mean, and yeah, it really works. I'm kind of shocked, honestly. I never thought there would be a day where I'm like, once again talking good things about a Shyamalan film. It's been a while.
yeah. How long has it been for you?
Since Unbreakable,
So since 15 years.
15 years. Yeah, wow, the same years. Wait a minute. So what? So this is actually this is actually a metaphor for Shyamalan films then, because Shyamalan fans have been resentful towards Shyamalan for 15 years, but now we forgive you. Well, not forgive you, but okay, never mind. I'm just going
Yeah.
off topic. Okay, yeah. So it was a very good. It was a very good movie. I really, and I'm not really into this kind of film, so that also speaks to its quality. What I love about this film is that it does have the found footage slash horror movie tropes here and there, but for the most part, the cliches are kept to a minimum. It's mostly about the atmosphere, the characters, and they do a really great job keeping the cliches to a minimum. So it really works. And to me, my favorite horror film is The Shining. And what made that film work was a similar kind of thing where Kubrick didn't use any typical horror movie cliches. In fact, that's one of the main reasons why Stephen King probably didn't like it. But that's exactly what made me love it. The fact that it was so unlike other horror films. It was so unpredictable that's what made it more scary for me because I could not see what was coming. In this one, aside from the twist, I could see things coming, but I was still very entertained and
Honestly,
I enjoyed my seat.
honestly, what I thought was going to be the twist was excuse me. What I thought the twist was going to be, I thought it was going to be nah, it was all they were all just. It turns out they were just playing with each other, and then they all go home happy, and then the mum moves in with them or something, and they live happily ever after the end. But
Mm-hmm. Great job
oh
with the twist.
yeah, well, he fooled even me.
Oh yeah. I was really not expecting that, but it totally made sense. But at the
Yeah,
same time, it was the good kind of thing where even if they were the real grandparents, it still would have been believable enough because they do a good enough job keeping that thing ambiguous. Because same thing,
yeah.
similarly to how J.K. Rowling kept the whether or not Snape was good or bad very ambiguously until the last book. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It's the best surprise of the year. It's
And it's from M.Night Shyamalan.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I forgot. Was there like a really disappointing film by a filmmaker who usually brings out good films this year?
Um, I don't know for me, but would it have been Tomorrowland for you?
Nah, Tomorrowland. I still don't find the movie to be an overall disappointment. Well, okay, fine. I didn't like the third act, but I still think the first two acts are very good. So that's a I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't say I wouldn't go so far as to call Age of Ultron a big disappointment, but it's the closest. It's the closest to that for me.
Uh, yeah, it was a really good surprise. It's good to see Shyamalan make a good movie again because, like Brad from CinemaSnow.com said, the guy has made good movies, and it's nice to see the fact that he still has it. Let's just hope he keep. Let's just hope he takes the good because the movie is actually getting a good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's last time I checked was in 63%. Let me check.
It's still around the 60s, I think.
Yeah, there you go, Shyamalan. This is your first fresh rating in years.
Since 2002.
You see, Shyamalan, unlike what you kept saying in your last better interviews, it's not that people are out to get you. You just need to make your movies good, and we will call them good. That's what we're doing right now.
And then lo and behold, you've made a good film. Well done.
Indeed.
And I actually mean that sincerely.
Oh yeah, totally. I really enjoyed this.
So yeah, it's like this year we've moved into another dimension. We have a Disney live action adaptation of a classic fairy tale story that doesn't suck. Shyamalan makes a good movie. A franchise about cars going fast actually manages to have a very heartwarming moment near the end. Pixar managed to make a movie with that's just emotions in your head, very heartfelt. And Mission Impossible proves that a franchise can go on for nearly 20 years, a film series at least, and still be entertaining, and
Oh yeah.
and have the same actor throughout, even if you're constantly shifting directors.
Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the movie's very simple in story, so there's not really that much to tell. I think we've covered it all. Do you have anything else to say?
Um, not really.
All right, so yeah, that was our impressions of The Visit. It's a really good movie, so I recommend you check it out. You might be surprised like we were.
Yeah. Are we going to do one of these for another movie sometime?
Sure, why not?
I won't say this month because there's not really a whole lot of films I'm interested in seeing. But
Me neither.
I mean, October you got The Martian,
Oh yeah.
Pan, Steve Jobs,
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll
Crimson
see.
Crimson Peak.
Oh yeah, Crimson Peak. I'm definitely gonna see that one.
I actually saw the trailer was actually on before the visit came on in my
yeah,
and
mine too.
it actually looks rather cool.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I like Jessica Chastain, so that's also a plus.
There's also Spectre
Oh yeah.
in November.
I think it's actually December for me, but that's well, I might
Oh
see.
no. Actually, no. Spectre's October for me. Actually,
Whatever. We'll see about that. For now, let's just. All right, that was The Visit. We definitely enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. So see you for whatever next video of this sort we do.
yeah. All right. See ya.
Yeah.